you have been struggling to understand how heritage and conservation relates to tourism and policy planning, that's okay, because today we're here to provide you with some knowledge and fill these gaps through our case study of Sydney Olympic Park.
We will be presenting an analysis of numerous sites that have significance in regards to both tourism and heritage planning.
And do you know that cultural tourism and heritage accounts for 37% of world travel according to the World Tourism Organization? And this figure is increasing by 15% per year.
Yeah, Dan. Well, now you do.
See, you're already learning and we haven't even begun. So let's get on with it.
So we're here, standing at one of Sydney's most unique heritage sites at Sydney Olympic Park.
The history of the site spans over 100 years, with its beginnings founded in naval usage during the early 1900s. It reflects even earlier periods associated with the pioneering of the blacksmith mill.
Located at the heart of the Armory is Building 22, which is known today as the Armory Theatre. So unfortunately, because it's not the weekend, we couldn't get in to show you guys, but it's in that general direction over there. It was constructed in the early 1920s, and the building was once used as a non-explosive storehouse, which has now been adapted for reuse as a performance space with the capacity to hold an audience of up to 250 people. At the northern end of the Armory is Building 18, the Armory Gallery. This precinct, constructed between 1940 and 1941, was originally utilised as an explosive storage facility in World War II, though it was also adapted for reuse as an exhibition space with a holding capacity of up to 450 people in 2004. Today, the facility is predominantly used to showcase visual art exhibits, natural history exhibitions and heritage displays. The wharf we see today, situated on the Parramatta River, was in fact once used to ship ammunition into and out of the Armory while it was in operation. The current Armory Wharf Cafe, located beside the wharf, was initially part of the original establishment precinct and known as Building 13. It was constructed between 1937 and 1944 for military purposes as an inspection and testing store for explosives. The redesign and reuse of the building into a cafe, which provides a view across the Parramatta River, incorporates existing materials and utilises industrial and military themes, paying tribute to the heritage and history of the scene. Here we have the heritage-listed railway track, which was once used to move missiles, torpedoes and explosives around the Armory, stopping at each of the different storehouses on site. Today, the track is a major tourist attraction and is used to transport people on a historic discovery tour of the site. The Heritage Railway Discovery Tour enables visitors to enjoy the history of the area and view amazing historic locations, including over 100 buildings which date back to the late 1800s. The tour is held every weekend on a Sunday and runs for approximately 75 minutes. Through these tours, people are able to gain insight and understanding into the beginnings of the site and appreciate the heritage behind what it has developed into today.
Here we are by the Cauldron at Sydney Olympic Park. The opening ceremony at the 2000 Sydney Olympics was truly a spectacle of its time, and the lighting of the Cauldron by champion sprinter Cathy Freeman was a memorable beginning to an eventful Olympics. When the Games were over, the Cauldron was relocated here in Cathy Freeman Park, a few hundred metres away from where it originally burnt in the Olympic Stadium. The park, formerly known as the Overflow, gained this title at the 10th anniversary of the Sydney Olympic Games in September of 2010, honouring Freeman as one of the greatest Australian Olympians of all time. At the base of the Cauldron, the names of thousands of Olympic and Paralympic medalists are recorded on gold, silver and bronze nameplates. A shallow white marble dome at the centre of the floor below the Cauldron commemorates the first Olympic Games of the modern era, held in Athens in 1896.
Sydney Olympic Park is one of Australia's largest urban parklands that comprises of protected wetlands and woodlands alongside sites of heritage significance which contribute to its unique setting. The parklands were built upon space that was formerly occupied by government industries and are recognised internationally as a leading example of environmental remediation and urban renewal. Today, the parklands play an increasingly important role not only as a local park to neighbouring communities, but as a significant regional park destination in the ever-growing and developing city of Sydney. Bicentennial Park is the busiest and most well-known conservation parkland in Sydney Olympic Park, offering a wide variety of facilities which visitors are able to utilise and enjoy. The wetland and terrestrial ecosystems within the park that were once degraded underwent extreme restoration works during the late 1990s, which has been the greatest remediation task ever undertaken in Australia. The Education Centre and Field Studies Tower, available in Bicentennial Park, were recently refurbished with sustainable building design and materials, and the Park Authority utilises the centre to teach over 30,000 school students annually. The program incorporates a hands-on learning curriculum as well as traditional methods and are based on conservation and environmental education. Brickpit is another significant parkland of Sydney Olympic Park, with a history associated with producing countless amounts of clay bricks that were used to build Sydney, hence its title. The Sydney Olympic Park Authority has developed a ring walk in the area as a method of preserving the site and its history, while also showcasing and conserving the biodiversity of the location. The Master Plan 2030 seeks to ensure the protection and improvement of the natural heritage of the parklands, with visions of sustainable development and planned constructions for Sydney Olympic Park which cater to the community, visitors and patrons.